welcome to Unapologetically You, an authentic journey to healing. This is the podcast that dives deep into the raw, real, and transformative process of embracing your true self. Join Jennie and Ashley as they share stories, insights, and practical wisdom, plus more than a few laughs and tears from their own lives so you can heal, grow, and live unapologetically. Whether you're on your own healing journey or simply seeking inspiration, this space is all about you embracing authenticity without fear or shame. It's time to make a move from a relationship to a relationship. Now, here are your hosts, Jennie and Ashley, who are proud to take this worthy journey right alongside you and are truly happy you're here.
So we are back with Unapologetically You podcast, and today we have a special guest on, Lisa Vidakovic. I'm going to have Lisa introduce herself, say a little bit about what she does. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to have you here.
What do you got going on?
I just dropped something.
Hey, listen, it's early. It's all
things happen. It doesn't always go smoothly.
No,
So
and that's okay. Perfectly imperfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
So Lisa, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do.
So I'm a holistic physical therapist. I have my practice here in Erie, Pennsylvania. I specialize in myofascial release, myabdominal therapy, and also energetic attunements. I help people recalibrate their nervous system through body work and other holistic modalities. Fascia is an intricate web through our whole body. It's our connective tissue system. And so it stores everything in our body, any tension, any stress, any trauma that we've accumulated over a lifetime.
Oh, my myofascial fascia.
You need one, girl.
Mine's all messed up. Got
So-
it. My net is holding a lot in.
So the net stores a lot in our body. And so my work helps to soften that net and rebalance it and get all the snags out so that our body feels safe again. So it's a three-dimensional structure in our body. It's our connective tissue. It's wrapped around every artery, vein, nerve, all our muscles, all our organs and tendons. And so when we experience pain in our body, when we experience stress, when our body feels unsafe, our fascia is typically tense. So when we tend to that, when we start to tend to the nervous system, when we tend to the fascia in our body, it helps to unwind the web to help our body feel safe again. And through gentle, sustained pressure in those tight areas in the body, we create a sense of safety.
So, Lisa, I wanted to ask you, when you say, because I know my line of work as well, so when you say help the body feel safe, so what I know about like safety in the body is when our nervous system is dysregulated, the body feels anxious and tense and tight, we might get some pain. And so is that when you say help the body feel safe, explain that. How does the body feel when the body feels safe?
So we'll take a step back when we feel unsafe, like you were saying. We have a lot of tension, we have a lot of pain. Our body's in the fight and flight response all the time. And so when we can ease our body and ease our nervous system and our fascia back into rest and relaxation through gentle, sustained pressure. So when the body begins to feel safe, when the nervous system becomes unarmored through that gentle, sustained pressure, through tuning into those spots of tension, spots of trauma in the body that have stored trauma, trapped emotions, any kind of stress that we've accumulated over our lifetime, it can gently unwind through that gentle, sustained pressure, through it feeling safe again.
I like that. So do you think people would you say that's instead of going to get like regular massage or going to like chiropractors, that's a better way to release tension from your body? Or
So
am I wrong direction.
So the difference between myofascial release and going for like a deep tissue massage or a traditional Swedish massage is that we get to those deeper layers in the connective tissue system, and that's through the gentle sustained pressure. It helps to soften and it helps to get to those deeper layers, whereas if you get a typical Swedish massage, or if you just go for a deep tissue massage, those bracing patterns, those deep bracing patterns don't get addressed because you're not holding the deep spots that need release.
It's
so
the
it's
time that got
yes.
it.
So it's the time and the gentle sustained pressure of holding those spots and teaching my clients to tune into those spots to really feel what's underneath to help the body to release.
What are common spots that people hold the most stuff in?
So
Other crap.
everybody's fascial web is different, and they unwind differently. That's why this work is very intuitive. It's not, I have pain in my shoulder. That's where the cause of it is. So typically we say, if you have pain in a certain area, we need to look elsewhere for the cause. So a lot of times I'll be treating someone's low back or their shoulder, and they'll be like, oh, I feel that down in my left toe, or I feel that down in my right hip from my shoulder. So
that's crazy.
this work is all about tuning in and to getting into the root cause of where the pain actually is.
So it's not generally
located.
where you're feeling it.
I do treat the areas where you do have pain, but there's always a root cause of that pain deeper somewhere else in your body. And as we tune in and we start to feel, our body starts to release into those deeper layers.
Isn't that crazy? Because I feel like it's the same with, our emotional and mental things. When we're angry and we're upset about something, it's never what the surface level pain is.
Right,
Like,
there's a
it's
root.
always something different.
Deeper.
There's a deeper root to that. It's weird that then our physical bodies do the same thing, right?
And sometimes we don't even know what the root cause is, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So explain energy attunement. Because
You have your physical body and you also have your energetic body. So when you think of the fascial web, you can think of that as a energetic flow through your whole system. And so when we tap into our energetic system, it helps to rebalance and it helps to reattune our chakra system, our energetic system. And so when we balance both the chakra system and the physical body, it's just another area of resonance to help rebalance the body.
I like that.
So I have gotten myofascial done quite a few times from Lisa. It's amazing. And it's interesting because every time I do myofascial work, it's always different, right? So I never know what to expect. There's sometimes I feel like I'll unwind really well and I'll leave there and I'll feel so good and so energized. And then there's other times where, again, I always unwind pretty well, but I will leave there and I'll feel so tired and run down. And I feel like sometimes it takes my body a day or two to kind of rebalance itself, and then I'll feel amazing. So its body then is readjusting to the work that was done in whatever way that, again, intuitively.
Absolutely.
You think this is good for people, whether they're feeling physical pain or more somebody that is going through something emotional or going through a hard time, that this is a good way for them to release that energy out of their body?
So it could be for both. So most of our physical pain, there's usually an emotional connection underneath it. So when we start tapping into the mind-body connection and we start tapping into the layers, think of peeling back an onion, the layers of our pain, our physical, our emotional body, then we can really start to recover. We can start to heal our whole being. And that goes back to what Jennie was saying. Each layer that we peel back, we might feel different. So when we start tuning in and we start tapping into our inner world, just past the physical, we can really tap into our soul and awaken spots in our body that have been storing trauma or pain, and that is where true authentic healing occurs.
I need to wake you up.
So
wake my body up. I need
girl.
I've never done it before. My body's probably like begging me, please go do it.
We're talking about healing, helping the body heal. Do you believe that a lot of disease a lot of illness comes from unhealed trauma in the body, things we hold on to that we're really not releasing, then comes out in the form of illness and disease. Because I know a lot of, like, they're doing a lot of studies on that now.
Yes, absolutely. So when we think about our body and our being and our wellness, tapping into that, what is causing us dis-ease in our body, and then once we start placing the armor, we are accumulating more stress. We're not releasing, taking care of ourselves. It's all connected. Mm-hmm. How we eat, the inflammation in our body, how we think, our emotions, everything is all this interconnected web. And so when we start tapping into that and we start really looking at all the big picture, the holistic approach to healing our body, definitely this work can help to prevent illness, to prevent disease in the body. It's the missing link. A lot of the clients that I see are patients with chronic pain, patients that have 100 symptoms that no doctor can really figure out. And once they start regulating their nervous system and feeling into their body and getting rid of that trapped pain, their body can start healing, the nervous system can regulate, and all their symptoms begin to go away. So it's pretty profound work in the web of healing. Another thing I'd like to mention is with myofascial release, your fascial restrictions don't show up on any diagnostic tests. So if you are having pain throughout your whole body, if you are having all these symptoms and they're due to fascial restrictions, you don't, it doesn't show up on any x-ray, CAT scan, MRI.
I have never heard about it until knowing Jenny, then knowing you, and through that, how come it's not something that is, and maybe it's just around here, but why isn't it more something that people are going to, or are people taking that turn now? It's becoming more known. And
I think people are taking a more holistic approach now to healing their body. They're finding that the traditional medical system does have obviously many benefits to helping us heal, and there is obviously a need for that. But I think people are starting to tap into their own wellness and tapping into different healing modalities and different approaches to healing their body. So I feel like there is this massive shift coming around where we're looking at the body as a whole, the mind, body, soul, to healing and feeling well.
Because I know you're a physical therapist. Yeah. So what drew you to this work, becoming, bringing myofascial in as a PT? What was your draw to this work?
So about 5 years ago, I started my own healing journey. I was working full-time in traditional physical therapy, working in rehab, working a ton of hours, starting to feel the burnout of the traditional physical therapy world nowadays, this deep feeling that there was a better way to help patients heal. I was loving my traditional PT work. I love helping patients. I love helping people recover. But the demands of the system were one of the things that were starting to challenge me. And then also really wanting to help people one-on-one and really take the time to get to the bottom, to the root cause of their pain. So I was experiencing my own chronic pain. I was experiencing a lot of shifts in learning how to take care of myself and really starting that self-care journey. And so I knew eventually I wanted to start my own business. I was actually listening to many different podcasts, while I'm driving around doing home health, and just listening to other therapists talk about their journeys too. And I had heard about John Barnes, who is the myofascial guru, and I decided to hop on a plane and go to one of his classes.
Go you! Yeah, that's.
After that, I saw the benefits at the first Myofascial 1 training, that this was something completely different that opened up the key to just a whole new realm of healing work, going to the class, experiencing the healing, and then just knowing that that was cracking the shell to a new journey for myself.
The fact you followed your heart, you took, your journey of going through struggle and then really tapping in and following your heart to, like you said, you heard about the John Barnes, you went on a plane, you became a myofascial therapist. I mean, kudos to you for really leaning in, following your intuition and following your heart, because it just goes to show you're in the right place now of where you're meant to be when you really listen.
Well, I think what you were starting to feel, the getting tired in the what you were doing, and it wasn't, I think when we're not, what you're doing now and knowing who you are, like that's your purpose. Like, right. So what you were doing before, it was in the right realm of the health and physical therapy, but it was the wrong direction. And I think we can avoid that for so long. And I think we can get away with doing that for so long. And then it becomes a lot more, we've talked about this before, a lot more loud of like, hey, I need to do something. Most people don't. You did. So that was, a lot of people will ignore that and just stay in what they're doing and not take that. Because that's a big chance, right?
Absolutely.
Were you scared?
Yes, absolutely. A lot of fear comes up along the whole journey.
What were the things you were telling yourself of that?
I should stay safe in my current job. I have a steady full-time job. This is a totally different train of thought for healing. A lot of these fears come up. What if people don't believe in the work I do? What if people don't believe in this for their healing? And the more that I really tuned into my own heart, and I also received my own healing through other myofascial therapists and embarked on my own self-care journey and soul awakening journey, I feel like I just became truer to myself, and also I could be that for others. And so I feel like this whole journey has really taught me to tap into my own intuition and tap into my own nervous system, my own trauma, all the
it's hard work. It's not easy
anxiety,
work. It's hard.
Fear, depression over the years that I've felt, the traumas that I've experienced and had to overcome in my journey to make me the authentic person that I am today. And I feel like now I can hold space for others in their healing journey. So I feel like we can only take people as far as we've taken ourselves.
Yeah.
And,
I like that. That's so true. I keep hearing that a lot.
It's
too.
so true, though.
So I feel like really grateful for my journey and all the things I've overcome in my life in the last 5 years. And I really feel like I've come home to myself and I'm right where I need to be in my life right now. And so I'm really happy that I'm at a space where I can offer that to others, when awaken their soul to their highest potential.
So to our listeners, if you are experiencing even physical pain, sometimes that could be your body screaming out that there's emotional things going on. You're feeling stuck. It's
always taught to go, do, perform. What do we need to be? And I feel like when we come back to that inner voice, that inner journey, and we tap into it, then we're living a truly authentic life. And we're operating from a space of calm, relaxation, balance. We're able to focus. We can gain clarity in our life. And we're operating from our heart. So we're in a space of fight and flight. We're feeling stuck. We can't create in our life because our nervous system is constantly trying to feel safe. And once we have that safety, it opens up a whole new realm to create exactly what we want in our life.
I'm asking for a friend. Just tell me how this works and where I gotta go, what I gotta do.
So for the first session, it's always a 90-minute session.
Okay.
I like people to be able to share their story, to really get to the whole history and find out how we can get to the root source of what you want to work on, what are the things that you're struggling with, what are the things that you want to heal. So we always do that initial assessment and evaluation the first session, and then we get right to the body work. And then at the end of the session, I always give self-care to teach you how to start to treat your fascia and get you on your way. I recommend 3 sessions close together initially. Because the more that we start treating the fascia and repetitively start softening it in a close period of time, that just continues to reassure the nervous system that it's safe.
It's good.
It's safe, safe to start softening. It's safe to start taking the brakes off. And once we repetitively do that through experiencing a bodywork session with me, and then also doing the self-care and self-treating the fascia in between, our nervous system begins to shift into this whole new realm of softening and safety and allowing it to let go. It's completely customized.
You'll be like a new woman.
I know.
Your
I won't
wellness.
be gassy anymore. I
Where's
will
Ashley?
You're
What happened?
going to come out a whole new
Happened to
gal.
my friend? You'll be on fire.
Whole new gal, shiny and new.
I know.
So
Your hair will be blowing back.
I'll be like, here I am, world. Okay, so because we've talked about the emotional work that you have to do to let things go and to heal. This is now almost that like next layer of like now you got to heal like the physical stuff too. To
Get
let
into the
somebody-
body.
Yeah,
Now it's
for it to
tapping into the
actually all
body.
because you could do the work of healing your mind and your heart and all that, but like I feel like that's like you said a missing piece to make it come full circle
together.
Well,
Yeah.
even like therapy, talk therapy, I think it's great. The CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, and the acceptance therapy, and the things that general traditional therapists do,
Yeah.
I think is amazing for people. I think it helps a lot of people. But then it goes that step further when you're actually doing other work, myofascial, somatic work, to really tap into the body to let go of that old trauma and those
Yeah.
emotions. And not tapping into the body and really allowing the body to release what's stuck is a deeper level.
Yeah.
absolutely.
What is healing to you, Lisa? So if somebody was to say, give me your definition of healing, what would you say?
So I would say is tapping into our inner world, becoming that true, authentic person that we're meant to be. When we can start living from our heart, when our inner world matches our outer world, we're creating this abundant life that we've completely created for ourselves, that we're feeling in flow, that we're feeling relaxed, we're feeling a sense of peace in our life, that we're not living by the expectations of others, that we're pain-free. And so when we awaken to all that and realize that we're such powerful creators and that we can create that for ourselves, that's what I would say is the true, authentic healing.
What are some tips you would give somebody at home that's listening to just help slowly start to tap in their body? Something they could do right now from home to just help them a little bit, maybe release some of those stuck emotions.
So what I would recommend is just taking a minute to quiet, to offer yourself a silent space, and just put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Take a few deep breaths in and feel for those tight, tense spots in your body. Is there an area that feels tight? Is there an area that feels trapped? And then as you're breathing and as you're softening, feel into those spots and see what comes up. And after you do that a few times and you're really tapping in, and you'll notice that your body will start to relax and start to soften, and then you're able to concentrate. You're able to kind of reset your nervous system into a space of stillness.
Do you feel a lot of people walking around don't always have that body awareness? They don't even realize where these tight spots are. They don't realize, that they're holding tension, whether it's the jaw, the neck, the back. So do you feel like that exercise that you just gave will help them even just gain body awareness?
The first step is bringing awareness. So when we have awareness, we always have a choice. And that's what I always like to say. That was one of the first things that John Barnes, the myofascial guru, who is my teacher, he said, once we have awareness, we have a choice. And once we can tap into that, we can start to release. We can start to make shifts in our life that are profoundly life-changing.
You're not aware. How can you change?
Yeah, you don't know that there's anything to change. You're just kind of
Right.
stuck in your everyday
stuck in the same
Some
place.
say ignorance is bliss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep.
But walk us through some rituals that you do on a daily basis to keep yourself aligned and yourself in flow.
So I definitely do a lot of self-care myself, meditation, softening my body through self-treating with myofascial work. I use my fascial ball to soften my tight, tender
What's a
spots in my
fascial
body.
ball? What is that? Where does one get one?
So for part of the self-care,
Sounds so amazing.
so you can
I would like
use-
one. Where do I get this? And what is it?
So it's just a small, soft ball that you can put onto your tight, tender spots. So you lay onto the restrictions in your body and you breathe and you soften for all the tight areas, 2 to 5 minutes.
My back hurts, right? I
Yes.
would put the ball on my back.
So
and lay
yeah,
on
you
it?
would feel into the spots that are tight and you would breathe for 2 to 5 minutes and soften those spots. And then as you're tapped in and you're tuning in, another spot will typically pop up.
Right.
So for example, if you're having left low back pain, you might start to feel it in your scapula. Then you would move the ball to the next spot and you would breathe into that spot and
I need
soften
this ball.
it.
I
And
really
then
need
you
the
might
ball.
have some belly. That's how your whole fascial system unwinds, and that's part of the self-care. That's part of the softening and rebalancing the whole system. So that's one of the many things that I do to treat myself, and also receiving body work as well to
I love
rebalance my system.
I feel like Jenny's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" I'm just rolling around on my ball. I am just
Can't go out tonight.
have a date with my ball.
So just 5 to 10 minutes each day can help you soften your whole system.
Because I know
It's all right,
me,
that'll
and
keep
I'm
you
gonna be
busy.
using it all the time because I'm really gonna be like, "What's hurting me?" I know myself.
Yeah, but that might be some good, like, letting go.
I'm sure there's the meditation, getting the I can't say it right.
Myofascial.
Myofascial.
Myofascial. I'm gonna practice that. The ball, the quiet space and
The
feeling breath
yes.
work.
Typically, I get up, I do my journaling, I do my softening and meditation, and then I typically get up, go for a walk, and ground in, and then I'm ready to start my
You
day.
have a very lovely lifestyle. I just like this sounds so peaceful.
What advice would you give to somebody right now that maybe is just starting their healing journey? They don't really know where to begin. What advice would you give?
So I would definitely tell somebody to just kind of tap in and see what feels good to them, see what resonates with them, because there's a lot of different healing modalities out there. I would definitely say to start listening to your heart, what feels good, what resonates with you, and what also feels good to do on a regular basis, whether it be yoga, whether it be myofascial stretching, whether it be walking, whether it be just taking that first step in starting to care for yourself is the greatest act of self-love.
I agree with you. It's the first step that could be the hardest for somebody to really take, but you take that first step, even if it's just a baby step, you get more empowered.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One step, it leads to the next. And then before you know it, after a month's time, after 2 months' time of making that commitment to yourself and your own healing journey, you witness this becoming. All of a sudden, you're not the same person that you were a week ago or a month ago or 3 months ago. And I feel like that is where the shift really starts
'Cause
to
you
occur.
start to
Those
see
small,
the-
repetitive baby steps of starting to care for yourself, starting to make those shifts in your life. Whether
You are making these changes and you're on a healing journey. It's not always easy. You are going to go through those times where you are going to be more anxious or more sad, or where sometimes you just feel like confused, but that's the time to actually keep going, because it is working. You are releasing a lot of the old traumas and the old stuff.
Right.
So I think people get confused. They think when they think of a healing
it's
journey
always like an
where it's
uphill.
always going to be so empowering and
Not.
always easy, and that's okay. It's well worth it, though.
Yeah.
If you really want to become who you're meant to be in your authentic self, it's worth it.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's the hard part where it comes back. People are like, oh, well, it didn't work, right? Because here I am feeling crappy again, and I think it's in those spots where people stop doing those things.
Absolutely.
So you're saying, like, you have to be consistent with.
Absolutely, and I think it's okay to take a pause sometime, because sometimes in that space in between, or that pause, is where we realize where we can pick back up again. And sometimes we need that pause to just feel and reintegrate and to see where we're at and allow ourselves that pause. And
That's so powerful. The pause.
The pause.
Taking a pause.
Not quitting. Taking a
Sometimes it's
pause.
the in between where the real healing occurs.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Making those shifts in your life. It's okay. You're not going to feel great every day. Think about it as the dying of the old self, and that's painful when the old things have
scary.
to die. The
It's
old
scary.
ways. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of anxiety
Because
that
we're
comes
used
up.
to. That's all we know.
Absolutely.
You're
Right? We
safe.
know that.
We're-
Yeah.
We feel safe in our old patterns, and to break that, we're really focusing on the newness. And then after we've exercised that for a while and our body feels safe in this new way, then we're like, oh, I'm not that anymore. I'm not all my fears. I'm not all my worries.
Yeah.
I'm not all my doubts. I'm love. I'm balance. I'm peace. I'm harmony.
And go ahead.
So I feel like some people almost they become so used to that chronic pain or feeling that
Or the
whatever,
anger.
the anger, the being in the fight or flight, that to come, it's easier to almost stay in it than it is to come out
to
of
break
it.
free.
Um,
Absolutely.
But once you do break free, you're like, oh.
This
wow.
is what
This
this
is-
is the good stuff.
It's sad because I think a lot of people just can't make that final like break of getting
Right.
out of. But
Spirituality, because we'll have to wrap it up soon. What is spirituality to you? When you think, would you consider yourself a religious person, spiritual person, and what does that mean? What is God or oneness, or what does that mean to you?
So, spirituality, I would say, is just tapping into that consciousness that's something greater than like what we can physically grasp. So, whether it's creator, whether it's God, we all have that life force, that divine energy within us. And once we tap into that, into our heart, into that greater knowing that there's just something greater guiding us through this lifetime, I feel like we create miracles in our life, operating from this state of resonance where we become a magnet to miracles in our life, and we're just in this flow with synchronicities and just that space of gratitude and peace and love.
when I try and envision it, right, you feel like our souls inhabit our body. And I feel like we spend so much time throughout life, like just battering it and bruising it and doing, like, it's wounded inside.
Yes.
And I think the work that you're doing allows, like, your soul to almost heal in a sense. Like, yeah, your physical body, but also it sounds like it's allowing, like, your soul inside to, like, oh, get me out of here. Like, let me, like, really, and, like, have this energy
Absolutely.
that I'm supposed to have, so I can provide for you the person that you're supposed to be, without keeping it so, like, it's almost like you're keeping
Coming
your
home to
soul
yourself.
locked in.
Yes. Once we can feel and we can tap into all and unleash all the stuff that doesn't need to be there, we can feel into our soul.
Yeah.
We can bring ourselves back home into
Yeah.
that state of unconditional love and flow. And when we are in that state, our body can self-heal.
Yeah.
That's the missing link when we're tapped into our soul and we feel good. We
Yeah.
feel healthy. We feel well.
Yeah.
And the system is well regulated, we do have clarity and we do attract more things that are meant for us, and we are braver to make
Yeah.
more moves because we're not operating from a tense nervous system, an anxious nervous system.
Yeah.
We're more relaxed. We're feeling
Absolutely.
into where we're meant to be.
Absolutely. We're tapped into our intuition. We're operating from our heart space
Yeah.
versus a state of fear
Yeah.
and anxiety.
And I'm still always doing work on my heart space. I think it's a never ending
Yeah.
journey.
lifelong
It's a
journey.
lifelong journey. So it's always a work. We're all works in
Because
progress.
life keeps
Absolutely.
throwing things at you.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
mean,
Yes.
there's
Right.
constantly
For reasons,
yeah.
though, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Favorite quote, Lisa? Do you have a favorite quote or
Put
somebody
her right
or
on the spot,
even
Jenny. Go ahead. Jeez.
she is kind of in the hot seat.
Didn't let her know that was coming, did you?
or favorite quote or somebody that you follow that you would recommend our listeners
Yeah.
follow, somebody that you feel is inspirational and somebody good to follow. So either one or both.
I have to think about that a second.
Sure.
Well, there's a lot of different followers that I have, there's a lot of different inspirational people that I follow. But my favorite quote, I'd have to think of that. I don't know.
How about somebody you follow that you think would be good for the listeners to follow to gain some inspiration, insight? Certain podcasts or book, or maybe a book you read that was life-changing to you that you could leave our listeners with?
I don't know. My mind's more
I
blank.
You said, what did you say earlier? I think Jenny and I were like, oh, that's a good one. The one with like the awareness or change, or what was that?
John Barnes, you said something about.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
John Barnes, he's a myofascial guru. So yes, I would definitely recommend following his work.
Okay.
And also just leaving you with like a space of gratitude and a space of relaxation. And
How can before we get where can people find you? How can they get a hold of you? And if this is something that they want to do.
so you can reach out to my Facebook page, and I have my website on there,
We'll put
and
links.
also
Okay.
Wellness Collaborative Erie is my Facebook page,
Okay.
and the name of my business is the Wellness Collaborative. So if you go there, you can find a wealth of information and a link to my website, and also you could message me for a consultation.
Perfect. Anything else?
Nope.
So, thank you to Lisa Vidakovic.
Yes.
Follow her at Wellness Collaborative. Couple things. The pause.
Mm-hmm.
Take time. Pause. Sometimes it's that space in between that you'll gain the most insight. Follow your heart.
Be aware.
Be aware. Settle into some silence. And just, again, listen to your body. I did find this quote, which is so funny because of what we were talking about. If you just allow your body and mind to rest, the healing will come by itself.
If you have a story you'd like to share, or if there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover on the podcast, we'd love to hear your ideas.
Get in touch with us through email or our social media pages. Links below.